Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Bad news for the Europeans. Congratulations, you did it. The Eurozone falls into recession. Officially. More sanctions? Eurozone sinks into recession according to the Telegraph. I guess it just happened. Well, it's okay. I'm still going to have my money, but not you. Okay. It makes you see things like this, where some guys in charge make some decisions that affect negatively the populations that they are supposed to, be in charge of and not in charge of, represent and do their bidding. It seems like it makes you think to all kind of conspiracy theories, unfortunately, and it makes you think of, for instance, own nothing and be happy. Remember things like this, because you can't possibly think of anything else other than incompetence coming from these guys who make decisions without knowing, supposedly, the consequences that I, an idiot, was able to foresee when they started placing sanctions on Russia. I'm not an economist, I'm not an expert, and I don't want to be an expert in economy. If with time I accumulate information, that's fine. I'm all for knowledge and knowing. But I'm not looking for economy, and I'm not an expert. And I said this since they started the first thing with the sanctions. You are going to yourselves. That's the result. Well, were there other factors over there? Yes, they probably were. As important as the energy and what they do to Russia? I don't think. I think this is the main thing. I think if the Europeans would have not placed on sanctions, that's my assessment. As a regular person, I have the right to tell you my assessment. Without the sanctions imposed on Russia, I do not think the European economy, Eurozone, would have fallen into recession. I don't think so. But however you want to take it, it's too late. The fact is that I and many others predicted it. This is going to happen. But those economists, those guys that make a lot of money, did not predict it somehow, did not figure it out. They say, yeah, go on, go, impose sanctions, we're going to show them, and we're not going to be affected. You know why? Because we are the center of the universe. That's how delusional these guys are and the way they think. And they're not, because their own sanctions affect them. United States, from what I read, is actually in a recession, technical recession, the definition of recession. But they will not call it. They will not call it. This guy called it now. I'm waiting for United States of America. Again, what's going on? Don't give me the COVID anymore. And even if you give me the COVID, there were people in charge who made certain decisions that now affect us negatively. What do you do to a person who underperforms? You fire him or fire her. And if that person creates such a, or dilapidates the institution in such a way, you can also start criminal investigation against that person. Generations will be affected by these guys' decision. Generations. People, my children, my grandchildren, and so on, yours as well. What do? Well, vote me out of the office. Remember, many people were not voted in the office. This little woman was not voted in the office. She was appointed, and she made decisions on our names, in our names. Well, maybe not on mine, but I think we'll find out. Let me read down here. This is the European Central Bank president. So she was not elected. I don't know who elected her and how, but anyway, she's the president. She was appointed over there as the elected by some people who put, oh, should we take Gigi over there? Yeah, we put Gigi. Here we have Gigi. The Eurozone entered into a technical recession at the start of the year, according to revised data, as rising inflation hit consumer spending. The economy shrank by 0.1 PC for a second consecutive quarter in the first 3 months of 2023. Figures from the EU Strategic Agency showed. So 0.1 percentage points, I'm guessing. Eurostat revised down an earlier forecast by whom? That had predicted slight growth after the continent's largest economy, Germany, said last month it had fallen into recession. Who are those guys? I want to see them. It had previously estimated that the Eurozone economy had expanded by 0.1 percentage point in the first quarter of the year. Very, very nice. Household consumption slumped by 0.3 PC over the period. Great, it seems like. So things are not very well, not very good here. Household consumption slumped by 0.3% over the period, following a decline of 1% in the previous quarter, indicating domestic demand was hit hard by the combination of inflation and raising interest rates, according to economists. Economists, is like the guys with the weather, seems like. It comes as the European Central Bank is expected to continue raising interest rates. We don't care. We don't care anymore. My point is this. I'm a citizen. What happened? Well, it's bad. Why? Why is bad? I want to see the people responsible. And I want them to support the consequences. What are the consequences? Nothing. They will still be in charge of us. Well, it's all right. I read that Russia is not in a recession. I read that it has actually is going up. It's expanding its economy. Now, if that's a lie or not, I don't know. But this is what they reported. So their economy is growing. The European and the US shrinking. Recession here, recession in the United States, recession in Europe, not recession in Russia. Isn't the Russia supposed to be or something happens to us here? With this, again, global warming and so-called in this carbon emission and so on, we will not have things. We will have less and less and less than we already have. And some other people dictate what we're going to have and what we will not. But they will have whatever they want because they are in charge of us. We're heading into a big tyranny, I think, here in the Western world. Big tyranny. But hey, maybe you're gonna do what Gerard Depardieu did, or maybe like Snowden did, or maybe like what's his name, the other guy, Steven Seagal did, and others. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna go somewhere else. Have you heard that the Russians are building now a city for the people who want to immigrate from the Western countries that are sick of this garbage? Immigrate over there? I don't know. From something worse, go to something bad, or I don't know. Pick instead of doing what? What's going on? Go and vote. I'm so irritated, man. Irritated it's a how to put it? Not a reality. Okay, let's put it this way. Understatement. Look what we have. I mean, wake up. We have a guy barely there sometimes. We have Kamala Harris. Know nothing. We have this weasel. We have FBI, CIA, NSA. We have the judges, the so-called federal judges. Determine almost anything. They're like bosses with whatever they want. What's going on here? We have the mass media in cahoots with what's going on here. And they're just fine. The beer is still in the refrigerator. The games are rolling on a TV. And we are just doing what? Going vote. For what? For what? What are we going to have to vote for? Biden? Biden should not have been on the position to be elected. The same Trump and many others that I can think of in the past, 50 years in the United States of America, I would know. But we have them. I wonder what's going to be next. Who the hell is going to be next? As I said, it's going to be a guy in a coma. A guy in a coma, or maybe I don't know if a guy, girl, I don't care. The sex. in a coma, that person will win the elections. How low can we go? I mean, look at Biden. He's medically not okay. And he's still the president of the United States of America. And everybody is okay, not okay. They pretend. The mass media, what? How can we put up with this? Imagine this scenario. Imagine that you are married. You think you're happily married. Okay? And tomorrow, your wife brings here her boyfriend to live in the house with you. And you don't say anything about it. But you can't bring your girlfriend, if you have one, in the house. Only she can bring. I mean, and you're okay with that. You're supposed to be okay. There's nothing wrong. I'm just, okay, they're at it again. That's how it is? Unbelievable. That's exactly what we do with Biden. And with Harris and all the political weasels that wanted to be candidates. Mike Pence, garbage. All right? Straight. And many others. Most of them. And we're just okay. We're okay with that. And we point that Putin is a criminal, Zelensky is a saint. Somehow Sunak is better than the other one who was, what's her name? Lazy Lizard Truss. Sunak did not do anything better than she did. But he's still there. He's at the White House right now visiting. What happens here? How did this guy get in charge? You got the other, what's his name? Boris Johnson, another in the Great Britain, that civilization, culture, nation, Britannia. What? With those guys? My God, you had this guy here giving jobs to that woman, 21-year-old intern in the White House, in the Oval Office. What is this? If you have urges in the White House, everybody was like smirking. It was what? Look at Macron. Macron decides the pension reform in France. Legally. He decided it. Pac signed it. Bypassed everybody else. Legally. 80%, I think, of the French population was against it. He did it by Pac. Go and talk over there while I'm eating my cheese and drinking my champagne. And who knows who's over there. Not what's her name? Brigitte Bardot. She's not there. She's not Brigitte. It's someone else. Someone else, probably. Anyway, maybe someone else is behind him. Who knows? You know what I mean? Yes. I just joke. I'm kidding. Okay? All right, my friends. This is the level. Going into a recession. It's all right. And we don't know why. The rates are going to go high. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. The elephant in the room. I think it's because of this thing right here, big enough for everyone to see. Put the next sanctions, as Orban said. Are you crazy? Can't you see we're hurting ourselves? But I think it's something else. I can't say it what I think it is because I can't. In the land of the free, home of the brave, I can't have a free speech because if I do, the consequences will be tremendous on me. But those guys who ruin countries, generations, no, they're still there. But if I dare to say, this is what I think, according to these things that I know and I can provide evidence, the connection you make between all those things are called this way and this way. Emil, we're going to sanction you. Bye-bye. Very strict. We have, how they call them, community guidelines. But over there, billions of dollars, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars now go to Ukraine. This guy's going in a recession. But it's okay. No community guidelines. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.